Hello, everyone, Randy here, and we're playing Farming Simulator 17 on Gold Crest Valley. And guess what we're doing here again this episode? Boy, everybody sounds so excited. Yes, we are mowing grass here again. Don't worry, I'm going to leave it to the hired workers here this time. And we are going to be working on probably some harvesting and replanting. Got field 26 there that needs to be replanted yet. And to get that started, I've been less than happy with the performance of our current cultivator. Basically, ain't even a slightest of hill, and it skips and misses. So we're going to go ahead and sell this and purchase. Is that not interesting? Okay, it's definitely in there. See if we can sell this from the garage here then. So yes, we're going to go ahead and sell the current cultivator here. Hopefully, there it is. I've seen it. Sell that. Not sure why or what I was doing wrong here. It wasn't showing up there, but oh well. Doesn't really matter that much. Wasn't that expensive of a cultivator anyway. So anyway, I think we'll probably go with... I know I do have a couple more modded cultivators. We got the John Deere 2410 here. I think we'll just stick with the in-game one here this time around. So the All-Rounder. Interesting name there. 14.5 meters. I think the John Deere here is the same, I'd like to say. I could be wrong on that. So anyway, we'll select that one. Yes, we'll purchase that. And the only tractor we currently have that has more than 300 horsepower. Well, technically, I guess the New Holland case have a little bit more than that, but enough horsepower to actually pull this cultivator is the Challenger. And I thought about bringing the low loader up here to take this back. I don't know if it would have fit on the low loader though, so I decided to just drive this up here. We'll head out to field 26 here, start cultivating that field. And by the way, you're probably wondering where all the money we have currently comes from. Well, it's not actually from the silage bales there. The silage bales there pretty much got us out of the hole. And the money we currently have actually is coming from logging. I've done a significant amount of logging here. Maybe we'll tab over there in a moment. It's very, very laggy over in that region of the map there. So I have not done any videos other than the video of cutting the logs down. I haven't done any videos of actually picking them up and selling them. It's just so laggy doing so. I've probably cut down close to somewhere around 150 to 200 trees, I'm guessing. Somewhere in that neighborhood. So yeah, for anybody wondering why it's laggy, let's just say 150, 200 some odd trees cut down. That would probably explain it. Okay, so let's just tab over there a minute. I think I have the truck over there at the moment. Yes, I do. So, yes, I'm probably not going to stay over here long. Like I said, you can probably already see it. It's... What's frame rate? Yes, an ouchie whopping 18, 19 frames at the moment here. So you can see I've pretty much clear-cut the path all the way up and back down and all the way and back up and down here a couple times. Just got them laid out here. What I did not do was lay them all in one big stack this time, so that makes a big difference. If you lay the logs, just kind of spread them out, you can cut a lot more down. When you start stacking logs like this, they all start having physics. That's all got to be calculated. So for those of you who watched the last time I did the logging, I kind of had, the one big stack out in here. I maybe got 30, 40 trees cut down, and that was it. Well, this time around, I've got significantly more trees cut down. Way more. Before I started noticing any lag issues. And like I said, I still got trees, like this right here is probably contributing to it. They all got to have physics calculated onto them. Whereas these two laying right here, probably fine. Nothing really trouble in there. And if we look at the statistics here, if I can bring that up here a moment. How many trees have we got down? Trees planted 340. We currently have 280 trees cut down, so probably around 150 trees I got cut down here at the moment. I do have a bunch of them picked up, and like I said, I'll probably keep doing so off screen here. It just gets really laggy when I start picking up these trees. The frame rate drops down to usually 10. We're back up to 60 here now again. That's good. But yeah, usually it drops right down to 10 frames when I start, anytime I move any of these trees, like I pick one up, instant frame drop. So the game definitely doesn't like having this many trees cut down. Maybe once I get some of these picked up, if the frame rate comes back up, maybe I'll record some of that. But otherwise, I'm just going to sell these probably off screen. I've already sold, I did not keep track of the loads, so I don't know. I've sold quite a few loads of logs here already. So anyway, let's get started cultivating here. Interesting offset. Let's get rid of that. And hopefully we won't have any skipping or missing spots here with this cultivator. And I'm assuming here we'll probably have enough money as well. We can probably purchase another seeder here as well. So we'll probably get a larger seeder. Haven't really decided on which seeder here yet. Not a particular fan of the Amazon Condor here. And come to think of it, we actually can't really afford it at this point anyway. Probably looking at the Lemken here. The only thing is the Lemken, like our current seeder, doesn't fertilize. So that's the only thing I don't like about that one. We could go with a horse. That's a little bit bigger. But it's only like going from 6 to 9 meters. So not that much bigger. We could, of course, go crazy here and get the 14-meter John Deere. Seems a little bit big and overkill for this map. I don't really have any other seeders, though. So it's pretty much, again, case flex drill. Seems a little big for this map. So probably one of these two seeders right here. Either the Solitaire or the Condor. Like I said, not a particular fan of the Condor, just another really big seeder. I don't know if we have room for that on some of the fields on this map here. Might just be getting in the way. I know the smaller seeder there, the Lemken, doesn't have quite a large turning radius, so it might be the better choice, even though it doesn't fertilize, unfortunately. And I think it's, what, 12 meters versus 15 meters, so not terrible in size. It's, you know, twice the size of our current seeder. Probably should go check up on our mowing tractor, make sure he's doing okay. I've got the Vulture fertilizing over there as well, by the way, so that's why our money's really dropping, for those of you wondering. Okay, maybe before our money drops any further here, let's just check and see if we can actually get our hands on this seeder here. Not sure how much our current seeder is going to sell for. So before our money drops too low here. Also had a lot of comments, people liking the Case Optum here. And I have to agree with you, definitely liking this tractor here as well. Particularly like it with the dual wheel setup on it. Too bad our current New Holland, I don't believe, had that option. Otherwise, I probably would have put it on the New Holland there as well. I believe if you step up to the New Holland T8, then you can actually put duals on that tractor. The T7, I don't believe, has the duals option. And as you can see, our canola is ready to harvest here as well. We'll probably maybe start on that this episode. We'll have to see once how far we make it here. Obviously, we got a lot going on at this point. Mowing, cultivating, hopefully some planting, and then harvesting as well if we get to it. Looks like we're going to be harvesting with our current combine again this time, and that'll probably be the last time, hopefully. I know I said that last time there as well, and they probably could afford it if I would have kept selling the logs there. I'll probably continue doing that off screen, so maybe we'll have a new combine here yet. We'll see once. I'm sure there's more than enough logs out on that field there to afford a new combine. And then keep in mind, too, we're mowing grass there again, so making silage bales. So we'll definitely have more than enough money here eventually. Speaking of making the bales there, for those of you who watched the rather long episode there last episode, we had 3.5 trailer loads of bales off that field. So that is 3 levels of fertilization on that field, but only on the first ripened growth stage, the first orange stage, so the really light orange, versus the 5.5 trailer loads if we waited till the second orange stage, which is actually technically the last stage that grass will get to. Okay, we'll drop that off. Should be able to get some money out of this cedar, I would assume. 32,000, not too bad, I guess. That puts us up to 22,000. So just a little short of the condor, but like I said, I'm not sure that this condor is going to be our best choice. I like the fact that it fertilizes. I really like that fact. Debating here. I guess we'll go with the Lemkin. Like I said, I think that'll be the better choice for this map. Even though it doesn't fertilize, unfortunately. Actually, you know what I should do before I leave here? Let's buy a couple pallets of seed and just fill it right up at the shop here. As opposed to taking it home and using up my current seed pellet collection. Buy a couple of pallets here in a moment. Okay, and this should be number 5 here if I've been counting right. And if it holds 5,800 like it says, we should be able to use all 5 seed pallets here. Okay, this is going to take a moment here to use all 5 of these, apparently. They shorted this one. Only 999. Okay, 2 more to go here yet. Oh, let's see what's here. What shall we plant here? Maybe some soybeans here again. We could do sunflowers, but then it's kind of pointless buying this particular cedar. We need to plant something that we can use this cedar on. Okay, there we go. 4,999. And we'll just head right out to field 26 here as well. Helper Friss has completed their tasks. So as you can see too, my hired helpers have names here again. Again, for some reason, the Hired Helpers tool mod was disabled, along with Courseplay, and I think there was one other mod as well that was disabled for some reason. Not sure why these mods were disabled or how they got disabled. It's the, I think, 2nd or 3rd time now, like I was saying, that Courseplay has gotten disabled for some reason. So not sure what's going on with that. I know somebody said possibly being multiplayer, if you're joining multiplayer, it might be getting disabled. That's really the only possibility I can think of as well. Kind of annoying that it's doing so, though. Okay, so we'll put that on soybeans. Again with the offset. Interesting. Let's just see how we're doing mowing here. Yes, we're getting pretty close to there, to that rock outcropping up ahead there. The New Holland here always gets stuck at that point, and then I have to do a couple headlands across the front of there and the house so it doesn't get stuck anymore. I'll have to do that here in a moment. Let's get a tractor with a rake out here in a moment. And this time, by the way, we should be looking at hopefully 5.5 trailer loads of bales. So we should get quite a bit more money off this field than we did the last time there in the video. And by the way, there seems to be some confusion about the whole course play, windrowing, baling, and wrapping. So basically, if you want to use course play or plan to use course play to bale or wrap, you pretty much need to use course play to do the other processes as well. Very, very important you do so. Otherwise, it will not work, or you'll struggle getting it to work. Basically, in order for the windrows to line up with the wrapper or the baler, you also need to have course play run the windrower. That way the windrows will actually line up with course play. If you just hire a worker, you will not be able to get the course play to line up with the windrows that the hired worker creates. So again, like I said, you can use hired worker. You can see the option there. You can use a hired worker to do this. But like I said, then you will not be able to use, or you're going to really struggle to get course play to do the baling here for you. Let's get, no, I don't need GPS. I need course play. Get course play loaded up here. Oh, that course play seems awfully over. I would have thought it went over this way a little more. Okay. Must not have hired the mower there in quite the right spot, I guess. Like he missed a strip. Oh, well. Fieldwork mode, first waypoint, drive course, and yes, he's going to fold it back up again. And by the way, that was another comment as well. The tractor I have on the wrapper has been the Valtra. The reason I have this tractor on the wrapper, because it's our smallest, narrowest tractor as far as the wheelbase goes, so it can actually get right up close to the bales. I don't know if anybody else has noticed this, but the wrapper pretty tight to the tractor, so you really got to be careful once you start knocking the bales out of the way with the tractor before the wrapper can actually pick them up. And that's the reason I'm using this tractor here for the wrapper. Initially, I actually had a different tractor on it. I think I had the New Holland on the wrapper, and decided that would be a bad idea because the New Holland is much wider than the Valtra here, and it probably would have knocked some of the bales out of the way. So something to be careful about there. And we'll see if we can read some comments here in a moment. Nightwolf was saying they do make a Lizard truck as a seed and refill truck. Same as the King Ranch. And I'm assuming by Lizard truck you mean the same as the in-game truck there. Dakota was saying the Lawford map is a standard-sized map. And was also asking, when are you going to end the Gold Crest series? That is a good question. Not entirely sure yet when I'm going to end this series. Kind of like I mentioned, I do want to buy Field 5 yet. So it'll probably be sometime after we buy Field 5, which is probably not too far away. Hopefully, anyway. Are we? Oh, we're doing fine yet. Okay. Go back to seeding here. I'm guessing the Challenger is probably about done over here. Point Zero was asking, can I get a shout out? Well, there you go. JK Games was asking, is that a John Deere private? I'm assuming you're talking about the John Deere 5085 there in the last video. And no, it is not. Especially if you join the multiplayer server, it's definitely not then. Basically, if you join the multiplayer server and you download the mods needed to join that server, that will be part of the download. And by the way, when you download the mods from the server, you are actually downloading the mods straight from the multiplayer server. This isn't a Dropbox or Mediafire or anything like this. The mods you download to join my server are actually coming straight from the server. So you should be getting exactly the same mods that are on the server. Keywords being should be. I know it seems like every now and then you get a download that just derps up and you get a slightly different version for some reason. Pretty much when that happens, just download it again and hopefully it'll work the second time. Samuel was saying I do most of the hired work, or do most of the work myself because the hired workers cause a mess. That is true. Second Gear Gaming is asking, when is the John Deere going to be available on the mod hub for the Xbox One? That is a good question. And like a couple of the people that replied to you there, I wouldn't be surprised if it is never. And basically the reason for that being probably there's possibility of some licensing issues there. Not exactly sure how that all works out, but that's kind of what I'm guessing. Ted was asking, as for the tractors not turning at the end of the field, could you re-record the field boundary instead of using auto to detect? Yes, you could definitely do that. If you didn't want to use the actual field boundary and say wanted to move it in a little bit, you could definitely record yourself a new field boundary and say, you know, just stay 10 meters away from the edge of the field or something like that. That is definitely something you could do if you wanted to. Zarens was saying, in real life, you definitely won't be able to pick up those road signs that easy. No, you would not be able to. That is for sure. And that was actually something that surprised me, by the way. I was walking past the road sign, and, you know, the little hand symbol appears. Like, oh, really? Interesting. Just pick the sign up and walk away with it. Looks like Mike here was watching my developer tools video. And he was saying, I managed to make it rain. Now I cannot make it stop. How do I do this? I have no idea how you make it stop raining. I've never actually tried that command. And what he's actually talking about there, by the way, in the developer tools, there is a option for rain here. Set date time. Yes, GS start rain. And it does exactly what it sounds like it's going to do, folks. It starts raining. I believe it actually sets it for a time period. So for like a day, it's going to rain or something like that. So it will stop eventually, to my knowledge. I have used that command before, but it's been a long time since I've used it. So I don't plan on using it again anytime soon, really. Oh, our New Holland T7 Heavy Duty is finished. No, it's not actually finished. It is stuck up on that little rock outcropping there. Okay, let's hire the seeder here a moment and go fix you. So like I was saying, this is where he always gets stuck, it seems like. We'll just mow a couple headlands across here, and that should fix the hired workers issue. And you could use Courseplay, by the way, to do this as well. If you wanted to have Courseplay mow, you definitely can. Like I said in the past, though, if you have the option for the hired worker, I've always found it easier just to use that option. We'll rehire the worker there. Like I was saying there, basically with Courseplay, though, and hired workers for windrowing, you need to have Courseplay run the windrower. Otherwise, you will not be able to get Courseplay to line up. And did you just quit on me? Somehow I think our hired worker just quit on us. You will not be able to get hired worker to line up with the windrows for baling. Now, get back to work. Not sure exactly why he quit there. Okay, looks like the cultivating is done here. Shane was saying I've had the same issues with mods being disabled. Mine was the forklift, nothing to do with helpers. So maybe the new updates are having problems with the mod list. Yeah, not exactly sure what's going on there. Henry was saying, good video. Thank you very much for that. Cole was asking, how do you update your version of Courseplay? Okay, so in order to update your version of Courseplay, you simply just re-download it from the GitHub. I actually went too far in time. That's right. Driveway's over this way. But yes, to get a new version of Courseplay, they're just simply re-download it from the GitHub. And I think I mentioned this here already. Just look on the right-hand side there. It'll tell you when the files were last updated. So you can kind of make a guess there. Okay, the files were updated yesterday. And I downloaded this 2 weeks ago. Well, I probably need a new version. Speaking of which, I did actually just update my version of Courseplay. I am now on version .0039. So for those of you wondering, at the time I'm recording this, .0039 is the most recent version. Or actually, it was yesterday anyway. Might not be again today. That's very well possible. And at this point, by the way, the GitHub, to my knowledge, is the only official version of Courseplay out there. Everything else out there is probably not actually an officially from the Courseplay developers. Get this washed up here a moment, and then we'll probably be about time to wrap up the episode. So yes, like I said, probably won't get to any harvesting here this episode. And then maybe by next episode I'll have some more of the trees. And we'll probably have the silage bales sold, so we'll definitely be able to get a new combine, hopefully. And we'll give the Challenger here a bath as well. And like I mentioned, this is the larger Challenger. This is the MT800 series Challenger, but it's the smallest of the MT800 series Challengers, MT845. And hopefully once we have the money, we'll definitely be upgrading this to the largest of the Challenger here. A little more ponies under the hood that way. Oh, and somebody was leaving in the comments here, this Challenger, which is dirty already. Come on now, I just washed it. Apparently doesn't have a PTO. And yes, you would be correct. It does not have a PTO, does it? Did not notice that. So when I hook this up to, say, what do I have with a PTO here? Baler. Baler will have a PTO. No, I don't believe a PTO shaft appeared. Normally a PTO shaft there will appear, I believe. when you connect it up to the tractor that actually has a PTO on it. But anyway, folks, looks like it's time to wrap up the video. So with that, you folks have any comments or questions, be sure to leave them below. And as always, thanks for watching it. Till next time.